guy to catch up with in Shreveport. And I know you've been doing a lot. I've been seeing everything you've been doing, man. What's been going on with you besides the film?
Man, I tell you, man, first of all, I want to say, man, I appreciate you coming down. You caught me at one of my nightcaps, you know, getting a little something at Lake Street Dance Hall, man. It's one of my favorite spots to come to. But you're right, man, I'm extremely busy, and it's just by the power of God to give me the strength to keep going, man. Not only do we have the record label that's doing fantastic, man, with my two artists on there, Scripture and Hootie Hood. But we also launched a film company this year, and we did our first short film. The short's called Down South Zombies. And that was just kind of giving me a little taste of getting my feet wet. And now that I got my feet wet, I'm diving in full throttle. You know, and so now we're working on our first full production. It's going to be, man, probably the most biggest and most powerful movie that came out of the South. Man. I tell you, it's called Tay. It's based off a true story about a tragic incident of Tavia Seals, where she, you know, the homicide of her. We're actually going to do a reenactment of the movie. I met with the family, and I was honored that they even contact me and allow me to even take on this project. It's a challenge for me as well. This is going to be my first full production, and so that's one of the things, man, that I gotta say God put me in a position for, you know, to be able to get into the film industry and become a producer, director, writer, etc. You know. Another thing we got going, man, is you know, I'm heavily involved in my community now. You know, I definitely believe in if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. It's easy to point the finger and say we should do this, we should do that, you know. And the focal point that I'm focusing on is young men, you know, because we lost that essence, Doc. You know, growing up, you know, the mindset of men are totally different than they are today. And we see a lot of the youngsters out here, man, they you know, they watching the BET, they see people like us and they don't know our story of what it took to get there. And they trying to get it the wrong way. And not only that, these brothers are not being taught how to be men. You know, it's easy to say, hey, that man pulling his sagging and showing his behind. That man is so disrespectful. But maybe he never had a brother like us to teach them how to be men, to teach them, hey, this is success. You know, this is how you go about being a gentleman. This is how you treat a woman. You see what I'm saying? So we're taking on that project called The Aristocrats. Aristocrats, the highest development of a person in the classiest way you can imagine. You know what I mean? And so that's what we want to teach these men. We want to teach them about entrepreneurship. It's easy to wake up and say, I got to go find a job. But maybe you should think about waking up and starting a business. You know what I'm saying? Working for yourself, educating yourself on whatever it is you want to do. If you want to be a janitorial service, if you want to be in an entertainment business, whatever it is you want to do, educate yourself on that. And then put in the work to do it, man. And here's the thing. If you don't quit, you will be successful. It's so easy for people to want that success, and when they don't come immediately, they give up, and then they move on to the next thing, then they move on to the next thing, and that's what makes them unbalanced. And if a person is unbalanced, their weight, it's the same as a weight. The weight is heavy, it slows you down. It's like me going to college and say, well, I want to be a doctor. Then get halfway through and say, nah, I changed my mind, I want to be the attorney. Then say, nah, I changed my mind, I don't want to do that, I want to develop in business or something. And I'm so undecisive that I never get anywhere. You see what I'm saying? My thing is, find that passion that you want, focus on that passion, and stick with it. If you endure, you'll be successful, Doc. You'll be successful.
Well, you know one thing, man, I remember back from the days when, you know, when we first met, I think I was doing my DVD project.
That's right, man.
TV show. And just ever since then, you know, I've been telling progress, not only for myself, but you as well. Just a continuation of reaching for that goal and being determined and not stopping, just keep on walking the path, you know what I'm saying, to reach that light. So at the end of the day, I think you're correct about what you're saying about a lot of the young brothers today. And you know, I applaud you for what you're doing with the youth program as well.
You too as well, man, because a lot of brothers started off with us. And they faded out to sea. You know, they don't understand the endurance and the hard work that come with it. So it's easy to say, I want this, I want that. But when you're actually putting the work in and you got a passion for something, if the money ain't coming in like you think, you're still going to do it. You're still going to give it 100%. You have a certain standard that you say, you know what, I'm not just going to settle. I just can't be a dishwasher all my life. I just can't work for somebody all my life, depend on Social Security and being a greeter at Walmart or McDonald's. I'm not knocking that because I know everybody don't have an entrepreneur mind. But my thing is this. think out the box. Always go more. If you're doing the same thing everybody else is doing and you're expecting different results, that's called insanity.
Yeah. Speaking on that, because I remember once upon a time when I had an idea, and fear could be a part of the stunt. Meaning, not moving forward to what you want to do. Like, it was a part of your subconsciously. I didn't realize what it was, but that's what it was. And as I had that thought, months or maybe a year later, I remember seeing on TV a lady came up with that same idea and made millions off of it. Like, literally, I'm not kidding. And I was like, wow, what if I would have did that? You know what I'm saying? What if I would have just created 2 or 3 of them and sold them and patented the idea and just kept on pushing till maybe it reached to a point where the world could recognize it. And so
that's it, man. And that's a true testimony advice for anybody out there with a dream.
Right.
You don't want to go through this world with what ifs.
Yeah.
Just do it. If you fail, so what? Go back to the drawing board, make it better, get it straight, or say it's a bad idea, but at least you can say, I've done that and tried that.
Right.
If you never try, and it just become a thought process,
Right.
then you never know what could have happened.
Right.
Never know. Then you go through with that and that what if, man, will kill you. It would stress you out, especially if you sitting on the sideline and you watching the parade walk by and you are not a part of it.
Right.
That would eat you up.
Right.
And my thing is this, man. Whenever we have a vision, great idea, I always do my proposal. I always do my research. You got to do your due diligence, man. And here's the thing. Whatever I decide to do, I don't waste time. Because to be slowful is a sin, first of all.
Yeah.
The other thing is the time to strike is when the opportunity presents itself. Because if you don't strike, the opportunity may never come back.
Right.
For instance, I use me as an example. This movie Tape.
Yeah.
When we decided to do this project, we started putting the ball in motion the next day.
Right.
Wasn't procrastinating. I wasn't saying, well, I'm waiting to hear from them, or well, I'm waiting to do this, and they waiting to hear from me, and then nothing get done. Years then went by.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And now the opportunity is gone.
Yeah.
This is the time to do it. So now, once we get this movie done, we actually have a product. It opens even more doors because now I done gave a visual of someone's vision.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I can sit here and tell you something all day, and you can say, okay, yeah, I can see that. But if I actually show you a visual, it takes it to a whole nother level.
Exactly.
So to actually have product in hand, there's more doors that can open, whether it's social media, distribution, Netflix, selling it yourself.
Yeah.
Once you got product, now you have something, a tool that you can use to generate funds to move and get more things done.
Exactly. It's a beautiful thing, everything you're doing.
Man, I think, and it's just the beginning, man. Shout out to my man G-Jack. I've been partnering with him. He got some big things going on with some bringing things to the city.
Right.
Like he's working with Thaddeus Pugh and Crystal Wood for them. They're getting ready to do a big film production play here. He took comedy to a whole nother level doing comedy shows. And he got a lot of things going on in the city that we've been partnering with him on.
Yeah.
Shout out to G-Jack on that, man. Greg Jackson. And then you gotta be careful who you get in a relationship with or who you get in bed with.
Yeah.
Because 2 things gonna happen. Yeah. So my thing is you gotta be real careful who you get in bed with.
Yeah.
And who you do business with. I got business rules I follow, man. And you gotta have business integrity. You can't do business with everybody. Because it's a good thing, it's bad business and it's good business. And I only want to deal with people that do good business.
Yeah.
That's it. I support anybody with a vision that with a good vision. Anybody with a good vision, I support them and try to help them. But when it get to the point where it become misuse, it become manipulation, stuff like that, I tend to walk away from things like that because it starts generating negative energy.
Yeah.
And if you focus on negative energy, you're gonna get negative results.
Right.
If you concentrate on positive energy and keep it positive, my thing is don't look at the problem, look at the solution. If somebody bring me a problem, they better have a solution with it. And then we sit there and come up with the best strategy.
Yeah.
But just coming with me with complaints all the time and excuses, you need to get on because you're telling me what your mindset is.
Right.
I don't have time to sit here and try to analyze and listen to all these excuses. I need to focus on the game plan and execute the game plan so we can cover ground.
Right.
How many rappers you know We have so many talented rappers here.
Yeah.
And not just talented rappers, but singers and musicians here in the city.
Right.
And they never go anywhere.
Right.
And when I first started Platinum Records, man, I was trying to sign all this talent, everybody, man. Cause I was like, man, with all this talent, man, we gotta be strong.
Right.
The mistakes I made on my part, for the simple fact, and it educated me, is that no matter how good the talent is, it's about the mindset. Everybody don't have the mindset that you have. Everybody's not business oriented.
Yeah.
And that's why so many people become lost talent in the hood.
Right.
They running fast, but they on the treadmill.
Yeah.
They ain't going nowhere.
They ain't going nowhere.
You gotta get off the treadmill to cover ground.
Right.
So my thing is this: you can be in the studio recording 50 million songs, and your homeboys hear it. You sell for $3, $5. You can let your family hear it. Everybody saying it's good, and you don't make a living off of it or your livelihood. And then sooner or later, child support kick in, bills kick in, mortgages, rent, student loans, bills, car note, insurance, and rapping ain't cutting. So now you got to put that on the back burner to go work for somebody.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to a lot of the talent here in the street. A lot of the talent, people are not educating themselves on the actual business, how it works, understanding the business, getting themselves in position of the business that the major labels, the publishers, sponsorships will come to you because you put yourself in position now.
Yeah.
You know, you prime example as an indie label, me as an indie label. We're making money. This is our livelihood because we put ourselves in a position of understanding how to generate money off of this, not just $5 a CD. You ain't gonna make it that way.
Nah. Hey man, many will enter, few will win. You know.
You're so right, man. You're so right. But the simple fact is they won't take the time to educate themselves. If I was gonna open up a restaurant, I would find out everything I can about the restaurant business. How to market, what's the best selling foods, location, everything, networking with other chains. You know, I will find out everything I can about that. You know, any type of business that you want to pursue, you need to educate yourself on. And you can say, well, how do I educate myself? Social media. You got access to the world.
Internet. Right there.
Google, one of my best friends.
Yeah.
You know, I look up what I want to look up, and I can find out anything I want to find out. And the library, man, same thing.
Right.
So, you know, with technology these days, man, there's really no excuse. It's just laziness. It's just laziness, brother. And so, you got some people, man, and here's the thing about the music industry, a lot of people don't understand. It's a business.
Right.
You can't sign everybody.
Yeah.
If everybody got signed, then they would go out of business.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's a business and it's an investment. You gotta understand that if I invest this amount of money into you and your project, I'm gonna make my investment back plus a profit.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you anything.
Right.
You know, and so a lot of people don't understand the business aspect. They say, oh man, I can flow. You probably can flow good. You probably can freestyle your butt out. You probably get in the studio, got a couple of nice hits, but don't know how to market those hits. Don't know how to generate the funds. After you got the product in your hand, what's the next step?
Right.
What do I do now? I got a CD. How do I let the world and take it to the nations to hear the CD, to make them buy it, etc.?
Exactly.
That's where the strategy and the game plan come in. That's where understanding what distribution is. That's where understanding about marketing come in. And then once you get in position and you generate money and you generate numbers, because it's all a numbers game, now you got professional people contacting you. Man, I need to find out who this Baby Savage is, man. He got a fan base in the southern region that's crazy. He producing these numbers. He's a good investment.
Yeah.